Because I'm gonna forget. I'm gonna forget. Gameplay, that's the good stuff. I haven't looked at Plague Tale. It's a lot of like stealth stuff, isn't it? Right, stealth, yeah. Dude, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how the hell am I gonna make a really fun combat system for Ronin again. You can play mostly pacifist and not kill anyone. I'm going out of my way to be a murderer. Yes, officer, this is the man. He's insane. He's insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain. Pages. Gameplay. Gameplay settings page. Okay. Why is all the UI small? Alright, let's reopen that. Okay, why is everything small again? I feel like everything keeps getting smaller. Am I going crazy? Is the UI just keep getting smaller and smaller? Does it look like it's getting smaller to you guys? Because I feel like it's getting smaller. There we go. All it took was moving the UI into a random spot, and then it worked. Okay, so problem is that this button doesn't work. Let's go ahead and rename this. Mouse aim assist row. Yo, Peak, how's it going? I don't remember how to do this, but if I remember correctly, I have to explicitly go to like this. Gamepad aim assist row. Yes, sir. So when we go down, I want to explicitly go down to camera shake row. Before you ask, no, there's no search bar. I have to find this shit manually. And then up is going to be explicitly, actually I think up doesn't matter, but this one up does matter. Up dog. You need to go to time focus when diving. It doesn't have a name. Now it does. Time focus diving row. I'm sure it'll be right there. Oh, wow. Nice. That's a UE6 feature? Oh, dude, finally? All right. Whip up the good old controller. Congrats, man. Thank you, Peak. I'm doing good, though. Finally done with my console ports. I can start the next game. That's probably going to be my next step. But I'm probably going to do that while working on other stuff, to be honest. I'm going to probably do that while working on other things, because I would like to move on to the next game, to be honest. I would like to move on to the next game. Crimson, I'm finally done porting the game to the Samsung Smart Fridge. I can finally move on. I think that had to be a meme, and like people took it out of context and they turned it into like an actual serious thing. There's no way, right? Like I thought it was. I feel like it has to be just a meme. Like there's no way that that's being used as ammo, right? There's no way it's being used as ammo. If you ever need help with console porting, feel free to reach out. It's been really horrible times because there's no help. Which consoles did you port to, Peak, if you're allowed to say? I've already got Xbox stuff. I'd like to figure out PlayStation, but God, what a fucking pain in the dick that's gonna be. Switch, Xbox One, and PS4. Interesting. You went older gen. Interesting. Interesting. Huh. How'd you handle multiple... Okay, one question I've always had, because I'm so curious. There's different APIs, or SDKs, whatever you want to call it, for each platform. Can you put them all into one project and just work under one project? Or did you have to make multiple... Yeah, you can? Okay, thank God, because, like, ain't no fucking way am I doing this shit for multiple projects. You know, Duck, what are we dragging and dropping today? Oh, you know, an entire system. All right, this is what we got done so far. Cool. Neat. Neato. Burrito. 1.0.13.4 looking good. No, man. This is a 1.0.14. Okay, 1.0.14. This is going to be a major minor update. Yes. Minor major update. Major minor. Yeah. I don't know what my versioning is anymore. This could honestly be 1.1. I actually have a feeling if I were to name this and deem this as 1.1, someone would get fucking pissed off. I think 1.1 would just be mod support. I feel like someone would see 1.1 and be like, new content, POG! And then like they see there's no new content and they would get very upset. All right. Bug. Both hands play recoil animation when dual wielding. Yeah, well, we might as well get that out of the way. It's been on the fucking list for a while. Been on the list for a while. So the problem is as follows. When you go into dual wield mode, both hands play the recoil animation, even though you're only shooting one of them. So we need to make it so only one of them plays the recoil animation when we need it. Now, how do we figure that out? Well, I'm glad you asked. I don't know. I do know. I have some ideas. Sounds like an issue that takes 3 weeks to solve. No, it's going to take us 30 minutes. All right, start the clock now. Hold on. Wait, pause the clock. Wait, hold on. I gotta find my code. Pause the clock. Pause the clock. Pause it right now. Pause. Wait, this doesn't make any sense. Akimbo Deagle doesn't even have a recoil animation specified. What? The hell are you playing then? Deagle. Fire gun based Deagle. Ah, here's the problem. Uh-huh. I see. Yes. I see the problem. Yes, I do see. Okay. There we go. Now we just need to put the recoils. Huh. That's not right. You're a comedian? How are you? I'm doing good. How are you? But it's a bit difficult to explain. I'm not sure if it's due to modifiers of map of the part of the world, but I've noticed it more on the Rush B map in Sahara. Often inputs like try again or continue simply don't work or require time before they do so. You're just opening the pause menu is a challenge at times. I don't know if something like this has already been reported, and I hope I'm not bothering you. No, you're good, Nemesis. Don't worry. I think the buttons taking a second to click, I don't know why that's occurring. I've been trying to figure out why that even happens. Generally what I would do is, like, when that happens, for now, when that happens, basically just unhover the button and then rehover it, and then you'll be able to click it again. The pause menu is something that I've noticed and I've been trying to fix. That is when you, like, you have to click it twice sometimes, and that's usually when you, like, restart the mission. But I am trying to work on that. I've been trying to fix that. It's a bit of a weird one. But yeah, the buttons, when that happens, just unhover and then rehover it again, and then it should work. I gotta look into why that's even happening. Grigori, how's it going? Dude, I don't know what's been going on. These past few days, I can't even speak normally. I can't read normally. I think it's old school RuneScape. It is actually eating my brain. Aha! The damage multiplier for the Akimbo Deagle. Oh wait, shit. We got a 0 for the Dragon Breath. That's not good. God, this is such a dumb system. Using text for this. I learned my lesson. I know, trust me, I learned my lesson. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate that. Nostalgia number go up. We started a group Ironman with me and a few friends, and honestly, it's been really fun. And they like released a big update with a bunch of new, like a whole new region, and I'm like, yo, it's actually pretty cool. And then yeah, the Iron Man part is fun because I think my problem with my prior RuneScape playthroughs is that the biggest thing is try to make a ton of money to just buy anything, but I feel like that's kind of boring. And playing Iron Man, you have to like approach things in a ton of different ways where you actually have to go out and get things yourself, which I think makes it a lot more interesting. Iron Man is permadeath? No, that is hardcore Iron Man, which is technically isn't Iron, like permadeath is just like your title doesn't become hardcore anymore if you die. Iron Man is you can't trade with other players and you can't use the Grand Exchange. You can't pick up other people's drops, blah, blah, blah. Group Iron Man is like you can only do that stuff as a group. So you can trade with your group members, which is like really fun because it's like we're doing quests together and stuff like that. We're like kind of progressing together, which I find kind of interesting and fun in its own way. No, Joe, the modifiers don't stop progress. I know that'll be kind of controversial for some people, don't get me wrong. But when I was working on it, I was like, man, I don't care. Like, let's just make it so it just adds to the progress. I would say if you want to do the challenges in a legit way, whatever that could entail, I would say hold off on the modifiers. But if you want to use God mode to quickly get a challenge out of the way, then you definitely can. I allow it. I just don't really... I don't think it matters that much, honestly. Okay, so that should fix it. Now we should be able to shoot the barrel. Okay, now we just got to get the recoil animation working based off of... which hand you're using. This is going to be a very hacky and shitty way of doing this. I just wasn't sure I've been doing them without modifiers on. Yeah, no, it's completely open. Like it doesn't. If you do find one that's really difficult and you kind of just want to say fuck it and get whatever it unlocks, like clothing or whatever, the modifiers are a good way of just going in. Yeah. Listen, I had Old School RuneScape is one of those games where you just stop playing for like a really long time and then you play it again later on. And that's no different with me. I have not played in years, but they've made a lot of really good changes since the last time I played. And I'm also looking forward to sailing. That'll be fun. Sailing will be a good time. You ever think about putting your voice lines in? Not sure if there's a proper story, but there's no cutscenes, so just wondering if that's going to be implemented in this game or the next. I'm not really a story person. I'm going to be honest. Like, if I come up with a story, it's just going to be some bullshit story that's, like, not very good. I've thought about it. After playing Max Payne, I was like, or playing a little bit of Max Payne. I didn't really play too much of it. I was like, you know, maybe, but, I don't know. It would just be some really generic action story. I just like making fun gameplay games. I'm not really like a story person, to be honest. Even like the next game, I'm probably not going to really necessarily have a story. Just more of like a, I guess, a backstory for the character, but that's about it. Sucks that I just don't have time to degen on an MMO anymore because I really want to. Don't get me wrong. One rule we made in our group is let's try not to degen on this shit. Because you can quickly go very degen in Old School RuneScape because of just the grind involved with it. And I gave myself the rule where it's like I have to get work done to play the game, or otherwise it's game over. Okay. God, I hate this because the select system for the recoil I could have definitely done this better. Rather than reading from a giant select, I could have actually... Can I change that now? I can, but is it annoying? Yeah. Here's the problem. The Deagle, we have a left and right hand system for when you have, you know, when you're using the ultimate. The only problem is that we play the recoil animation from the player character. Now, I could grab our primary weapon and cast to it and see which one we're using, and then that could be a way of doing this. And honestly, that's probably going to be the way that I do this. But, yeah. I also don't know what MMO I would even play because of all the ones I'm interested in. I have so many expansions and shit, and it'd take forever to catch up. Old school RuneScape, I feel like it can be a bit overwhelming, but I feel like it's not too bad. Like, we've been just taking it at our own pace. I don't know about other games, though. Not sure about other games. I think I tried to play a little bit of New World again, and yeah, it could definitely be a little bit overwhelming. Can definitely be a little bit overwhelming. Damn. Just looking at this system, I'm like, there's so many things we could have done a lot better. This shit is bad. It's bad. It's got bad written all over it. But hey, we gotta cross the finish. We got there in the end, even with some potato code, but in the end, we got there, but, you know, not great. Okay, so we're going to set this up just to prepare it. Oh my god. A little bit of delicious pasta, a little bit of al dente carbonara, a little bit of bacon, egg, not cream, egg. Even though bacon's not the right one either, but I just used bacon anyways. Or we always used bacon. That was always the thing. Which movie was my favorite? I think the first and second, but I like all of them. I think they're all very fun in their own ways. In their own ways, I think they're very fun. Yeah, like I like the fourth one because it has a lot of like varying aspects to it and ton of different sets and like and whatnot. 1 and 2 though felt very, I guess, grounded in their own ways. Watching your bug fixing, maybe want to watch John Wick again. Gonna watch it tonight. John Wick's an easy rewatch movie. I think that's one thing that's very different from older movies versus the new movies like Marvel and Disney and shit. Old movies just are easily rewatchable. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I'm I'm becoming an old person. But like old Star Wars movies, I prefer watching those over any of the new ones. Just old movies in general, I just prefer. Iron Man 1. The amount of times I rewatch Iron Man 1. I don't know, there's just something about Iron Man 1. The first Iron Man. It's just such a fucking rewatchable movie. I don't know why. You're golden. Plot started getting crazier as the series went on. I think as the series went on, it went more in the comic booky direction. It went very comic booky, which, like, in its own way is fun, right? Don't get me wrong. In its own way, it's fun. But yeah, the groundedness of the older movies, the older John Wicks was, I think, part of it is Peele. I think it just has to do with length, because all the big movies now are obsessed with being like 2.5 to 3 hours long. Yeah, that shit's ass. Yeah. That shit's ass. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's the length. Just feels like a fucking slog just to like watch a movie now. It's like you literally gotta, let me take a look at my schedule. Okay, I'm good for like 3 hours, 4 hours. Okay, I can watch a fucking like Endgame and Infinity War. Great movies. I would not fucking rewatch them because they're just so long, man. They're just so long. The Dark Knight was long AF, but still super rewatchable. Okay, The Dark Knight I think is a special one because I feel like there's not a moment that's empty in The Dark Knight. I feel like every moment in The Dark Knight is like impactful. So maybe it's like, maybe the length, maybe it's not the length, but the substance within the length. Also, a lot of me try to get theater moments, which don't really translate to a rewatch. Maybe that's the problem with Infinity War and Endgame. It's a bunch of fucking theater moments. Like literally, like I think most Marvel movies are that now. It's like, you know what you could equate Marvel movies to? They're like TikToks. Yeah, I'm gonna hold on that. Yeah, they're like TikTok. yeah, they're like TikToks. Yeah, they're like TikToks. Banger tweet in the making there. No, but like actually real though. Like for real. Like listen. They're kind of like, oh shit. Fuck, I gotta make a different montage and a different animation sequence. This is ass. And I can't. Oh, this is straight ass. It's baked down. This is not good. Where did I animate this? I swear I just moved the arm bones. I don't remember animating this in anything. Animations AS recoil pistol. There ain't no fucking way. Ain't no way I opened Cascadeur just to make a fucking thing. I know in Deadpool and Wolverine, the moment with Blade is pretty awkward because he just stands there for a solid 15 seconds before he talks. So the crowd yells. That's so true. I never thought of that. I never fucking thought of that. I know when I saw a leak for that, I was like, or the recording or whatever, because I never actually watched the movie. I was like, yo, that's fucking sick. But if I ever rewatch that movie and see it again, I could definitely see myself like wanting to skip the fucking... I'd want to like literally click the skip 10-second button. I never thought about that. It's actually true. Oh my god, I did make an animation for the gun recoil. You've got to be fucking joking, man! Wait, so why is the animation so shit if I did it by hand? I couldn't put a little bit more like, you know, body movement into the recoil instead of just with his hand? Am I dumb? Hold on. Everything in making a Souls-like game? Man, there's like 50 million of them. In my opinion, I actually think the Souls-like genre is kind of... Okay, hot take. I think the Souls-like genre is kind of fucking lifeless now. Like, I genuinely think it's been beaten to a fucking... It's been tenderized, beaten to a pulp. Like, I thought of Ronin, the cyberpunk roguelite, turning that into kind of Souls-like. But... I just don't care for it. I'm gonna... Like, I want to come up with, like, a really fun, unique... Maybe not unique, but, like, a combat system that feels really fun. Kind of... open. Like, I think what we would do for Ronin is we'd have like katana combat, hack and slashy style, but maybe we'd put in a kick and a punch mechanic in there as well. So if you use a gun, you can still kick and punch enemies. I don't know. We're going to see what we end up. It's going to be a lot of prototyping, and it's going to be like really raw combat, because I want to figure out like a really fun combat system for that game that feels like fluid. I think one of the pillars we're going to do for Ronin is going to be active ragdolling. So like enemies being able to like fucking fall on the ground and then attacking enemies while they're on the ground, and I don't know. It's gonna be interesting moving on to the next thing. MCU movies actually are pretty good, but there's a lot of fat and decide not to cut out, so it feels like a slog to watch them. Like there's some really good MCU movies, but yeah, I don't know. It's just not easy to rewatch. What happened to Ronin, by the way? I'm still thinking of working on that next, potentially. Is that going to be the next game or the co-op zombie one? Honestly, I really don't know. I think Ronin, ideally, I would have loved to make Ronin co-op, but I just think realistically that's not going to happen with my skill level. I think with my skill level, I don't feel like I'm there yet. I'm going to save this as a different thing. Save as gun recoil pistol _ right. Is the Battle Royale mode almost ready? Excuse me? How do I unkeyframe the hand? God, I'm going to be honest, guys. I fucking hate Cascadeur. I don't like it. I don't know if it's the UI. Like, how do I just see the keyframes for my fucking hands, man? Like, just show me the keyframes for my hands. Oh, God. Oh, God. I feel like this... Open the folders? How do I open the folders? The plus? You're gonna call up your animator? We got no animator on board right now, so... And plus, the animator that used to be on the project, he used to use Motion Builder, and Maya, which was probably like way better. Left of the timeline, the plus. Right here? It's not a plus, it's a minus. It's literally not showing me shit. Unless there's a different plus. I don't know why this program could be so good, but I feel like it just tries to be so different for no fucking reason. Let's see. Maybe folder. No. Maybe timeline. Let's see here. There's another plus if you stretch it. God, what a fucking piece of shit. What a fucking oh shit. There we go. Oh God. I have not. I don't think I've ever liked this. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I've liked this program since I bought it. I feel like I feel it's just fucking headaches. The graph editor fucking sucks balls. See, I don't have that. I don't have that breakdown for some fucking reason. Am I in the wrong like bone selection mode? Auto posing. God, fuck a piece of shit program, man. Yeah, I'm trying to change the controls, but that's not changing anything. Just show me the bones, man. Show me the fucking bones. Oh my god. I hate this program. I would not. Don't buy this. Sorry. But fucking shit. Support documentation. How do I see all of the bones? Just show me the bones. Interface guide. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Maybe it's a skill issue. Why is the outliner empty? It's a really good fucking question, actually. You might be onto something there. Why is the outliner empty? Even though I literally have a guy right here. Why not use Blender? I made this animation in Cascadeur. I could probably import it into Blender, but all the fucking bones would get messed up. I thought this was Blender? No. You can make animations in UE5 now? You can. I don't use UE5 though, so I wouldn't really know. This seems like it's a bug. So let me maybe try to close this and then reopen it and see what's going on. Guys, good news. The outliner is working again. But the tracks are not. There's fucking nothing in here. Track 0. Why is everything under one track? God, this... Oh, God. Oh, God, man. I wonder if you can make it in 5 and bring it to 4. You could do that, but... not worth doing that. Oh, would you look at that? I selected the left hand, and it unkeyframed everything, including the right hand, even though I don't have the right hand selected. So, I guess I'll go fuck myself then. Did I go to school for game development? I did not. I think in this day and age, I personally, based off of everything I've been hearing over the years and from my own personal experience and seeing the amount of accessible information online, I think going to a school for game development is both a waste of your time and a waste of money. Personally. Now, that being said, if you cannot teach yourself skills and you require a school, I would not go for game development. I would go for a specific thing, like, I don't know, fucking programming or something very specific to the field. That's my take. I have spoken. I would like to see my finger bones, please. I'd like to see my finger bones, please. You can add a new track with the button bottom left and create one for the arms. Why does that have to be? Why do we have to do that? Why can't I just see my bones that are like keyframed? You know what I mean, Louis? Is that in like the newest versions of Cascadeur? Like, am I missing something? If that's in the newest versions, where it just shows me all of the shit that's actually like, you know, keyframed, I'll upgrade my license. But it seems like that's not a thing. Tools. Timeline tools. Keyframes, define character poses and positions. Yes, let's do keyframes. Let's see if I can just see all of the keyframes without having to create tracks. As far as I know, you can't. Oh my god. Okay. How do I... Okay, so I probably animated it in here. So I select and then I add a new track. And then I can go ahead and unbind this one, and now we just have a right hand. God, that takes... Why can't you just show all of the bones? What we should do is go to school for AI and make it do retopology that solve 10x of my problems. Sell that for $5 million. Hell yeah, brother. All right, let's see if I remember how to animate in this piece of shit. Okay, how is this working actually? Is this an additive animation? It says hands additive, but I actually think that's bullshit. I don't know if that's additive actually. Okay, well, we'll start with this for the right hand. Let's go ahead and go to and save a left hand version. The thing we need to do for the left hand, I know this is going to seem really funny, because this is an additive animation, all we need to do is unkeyframe this, which I guess we need to add a track for. God, this workflow fucking sucks balls. You can't tell me otherwise. This shit fucking humongous ball sack, like actual, like huge. Keyframe here. This object doesn't support global rotation around itself. Great, gotta remember how to do that again. Okay, guess I'll just fucking just try to, you know, look and, oh, okay, I actually can't. I can't rotate it at all, actually, as a matter of fact. It's, no, oh, there we go. Okay, now we got it, guys. Now we got it. Now we got it. So we just gotta keyframe it and then, move that fucker into position. That's not rotating the way I want it to. Actually, I think we do want it to be on the local axis, just because of how this is. Let's just move it like this. You know what? Actually, here's an idea. Add track. Add track. Save as. We're gonna save it over this one. I'm doing this in the like the laziest way possible. And we're going to unkeyframe the right hand. I'd like to unkeyframe the right hand. I'm just going to do this with it as a start. Okay, that's I saved that over the original. Let's go back. I thought I saved it over left. I thought I literally, did I not do that? Anybody? I thought that's what I did. Whatever. Okay, this could be a start for left. Hey, peace out, Mission. Have a good one. Why not Blender or Maya for keyframe animation? I use Blender for some stuff. It's just when I made this recoil animation, I for some reason made it in Cascadeur at the time. I just wish it had like a normal fucking keyframing graph and everything. You know, like why can't it just have, you know, the normal like workflow things, not try to be fucking different and be like AI, like who gives a shit? Who cares? God. I could puke. Honestly. Ugh, just stop trying to be different. It's not like a good workflow in my opinion. I feel like Cascadeur is good for like full body locomotion, not like fine-tune stuff. It's real, it just feels like it's not meant for it. All right, let's see if I remember the export process. So this is left. Hold on, I gotta pistol recoil left. Okay, custom export animation exported from 0 to 7. Okay, so I would assume that I did that properly. I get a bug in it that duplicates channels in the graph editor.
You'd think after 5 years I'd remember to cancel this. JK less than 3.
Why is the first keyframe for this broken? Like, wait, what actually happened? Wait, hold on. What actually happened? Why is the first keyframe for this messed up? I move the key, I move it down, and then it breaks the whole animation. Is there a keyframe 0 that I don't know about? This is probably a skill issue. This is probably not the program, but... Yeah, there's a keyframe 0? Where'd my keyframe 0 go? Aha, there it is. Oh, I see you, keyframe 0. You sneaky motherfucker. It's because I was set on 1. What's the struggle with Cascade? I recently started out learning the basic. I quite like it. In my opinion, I think I just prefer the Blender workflow. The thing is, Cascade has a really nice potential to have like a really nice UI and everything, and be focused on animation, which I'm really annoyed with Blender because it's like kind of like there's a lot of fucking shit on screen sometimes. But sometimes I do want to get like raw and nitty gritty, like show me all the bones that are moving. Like show me literally all the bones that are moving. And it's good sometimes, but I think it's not meant for first-person animations. It's not meant for like fine-tuned fucking animations. I feel like it's like just locomotion. That's it. I don't know. I can't. I don't know. I don't feel it. And I've had Cascade for a while now. I can't. Ugh. Okay, so this is the right hand. Call it a skill issue. Maybe it is. But man, the UI fucking blows. Sometimes. Sometimes it blows. Blows a bit of balls. Blows a bit of balls. I use it for first-person animations. I don't know how you do it, Louis. I don't know how you do it. Respect, because I don't fucking... Let me tell you, like... Me having to deal with this shit, when I did some first-person anims, I was like, I wanted to beat my fucking head into a wall. I wanted to beat my head into a wall. Why does it look like his whole body changes? Do you guys see that? Why is his whole body moving when I didn't change any keyframes in his body? Excuse me? Huh. If you create a good rig and weapon constraints and all the tracks, it's easy. Yeah, but I don't want to create like a fucking rig for every little thing I do. Like, I guess I could create a rig and then just reuse it all the time, but it's like, okay, well now I got to create a rig just to make one simple animation. I guess at that point I should just learn control rig and just make shit in UE at that point. Also, Rancor, thank you for the 60 months! Thank you. I was ignoring that because I was like fucking angry and I didn't want to like... I've been making animes for my first-person parkour game in it. It's decent, but my setup for camera additive... Oh, yeah. When I try to set up like I think I tried to set up a camera in Cascadeur or like a secondary camera. I don't remember what I was trying to do. I was trying to set up a first-person camera so I could see like a somewhat preview of it. And that was awful. Absolutely awful to try to set up. I think that's one thing that I tried to do. And then I just ended up going to Blender instead. Maybe the newest versions are a bit better to figure out those kind of things. I don't remember what I did. I could probably like look. I don't remember what I tried to do. I think I probably ended up just going to Blender. It's like a memory at this point. Just a cloudy memory. I'm just a hater at this point, though. I think it's good in some ways, but it's probably not going to look 100% accurate, but it's better than nothing. Okay, so if we do recoil, it's going to be interesting to see if this is actually going to work. We're going to find out. I think it is using an additive, which is very interesting. Wait, sometimes...
Shit my pants, I did.
Is it inversed? I think it's inversed. Is it inversed? It looks like it's inversed. I'd use mobile to prime. It's broken on PC. Hey, Twitch, Amazon. Twitch, Amazon. Twiggy, thank you for the prime. Appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, now let's see. Is it correct? Something's not right. Can we do something real quick? Can I do something real goofy? Hey, can I do something real goofy? Where's the fire weapon? Input event fire. Okay, I got a crazy idea. Why does it have a space? Every 2 seconds, looping, compile, Someone remind me to delete that. Something's not right. Is something right? No, that's not right. Good, Adam. Good. Loot, how's it going? Maybe it's the way that we're doing this gun system. This shit ain't right. Here, let's set this to 1 second. I'm doing good. I'm just doing a lot of bug fixing today. We're doing a lot of bug fixing today. That's on our docket for today. Okay, so here we switch the right hand, or we toggle it. The problem is every time we toggle it, I think we fuck up where the gun fires from. Oh, that sucks. It's a really hacky way of doing things. I will admit, I did really go hacky with this. Okay, what's the firing rate of the Deagle? 0.15. So every 0.15 seconds you can fire. What if, before we switch to the other hand, we put a delay? I know, I shouldn't use delay. I should use a timer. I know. But can that kind of reduce? Okay, so now it seems like they are inverted. Okay, now it seems like they're inverted. So now it actually becomes left is left and right is right. Who would have thought? Okay, now let's go back to slow-mo. There's that little delay where the muzzle flash does flip, because what we do is we move the actual... So here's a little thing for people if they're interested. The real gun just flips between the hand, because we use just one gun to spawn all the muzzle flash and effects and all that stuff. It's a very hacky way of doing it. And there's another gun that's a fake gun, just as a visual gun. But we flip between them. You can kind of see it flipping right there. Yeah, we swap them back and forth. Now, ideally, maybe we change where that occurs. Maybe on fire, we swap it. And that might be a better way of doing it, is every time we fire, we select if we want to swap it. But I think the thing is our animation is based off of which one is currently firing. The casings flying out and the magazine falling from the gun reloading are some of my favorite details in this game. One thing that I want to do realize is make the sound effects a lot better. I have a ton of new gun drops, gun falling sounds, and a bunch of stuff. I think that'll give it a really nice touch as well. Because right now it's like some generic metallic sounds and whatnot. I think we can add some nice variation. The visual side is cool, and it works pretty well. I think the next thing is focusing on the audio side a little bit. Yeah, I like it too. There's an abundance of details that are just so unnecessary. But this gun model is definitely my favorite. I put way too much love into it. You can even see like the brass inner parts and everything. First person mode. Kindred, thanks for the raid, man. How are you? Would making left click or right click correspond to each gun work? No, I just have it so it randomizes between the two. That being said, for VR, I have to make it so I put in that setting for UEVR players. Right now, it's, you know, you can't really dual wield in VR. It's like it only fires one of the guns, which is not fun. You are pretty decent at hard body modeling. Hard surface, you mean? Well, hard surface was one of the things that I focused a lot on, so I would hope so. I think it's somewhat working. I think it's passable. Okay. I think it's passable. We might be able to deal with this. I got a raid and run though. Enjoy the stream. Hey, no worries, man. Thank you again. Appreciate it. Hope your days go as well, dude. One specific sound I'd like to update is the shotgun's plastic casing hitting the floor. Those are super recognizable in games. Yeah, I might have that sound effect somewhere. I think I might have that sound effect somewhere. It's amazing that for a top-down original game, you added such a detailed weapon. To be fair, it was very stupid of me to add that many details into it, but I think the thing is I thought of what I was thinking of when I thought of putting in all those details was in the main menu, seeing the guns on the board. I kind of wanted those to look good, so I think that was the primary like interest in why I put so much detail into it. Then later on, I ended up texturing these other guns and putting a little bit of detail. Like they're not super detailed, but enough to like see the colors from afar and whatnot. And that gets the job done. Paid off anyway? Yeah, in the end it paid off, especially with the decision of adding in third person. Okay, so let's see if this works. I noticed the gun gets stuck a lot trying to fire because of the firing rate. Cool. Okay, I think it's working. Or at least it's. Okay. Did you ever consider at some point to give each weapon their own animation handling wise? I would love to do a couple things like that for sure. Don't get me wrong. It's just animation becomes very like a lot. A lot happens. And that being said, I don't really know what I would do differently. Like this one has its own animation, even though it's like technically incorrect. Actually, is it incorrect? No, it's correct. It just doesn't look great. Like I think this would be a lot more forward if I remember correctly. I don't remember. I remember looking at the posing for it. Am I still using that anim asset pack thing for locomotion? I'm using dude, there's too many like asset packs. I don't know what I'm using anymore. But there are some animations I need to fix because there's a bug where our suit is like incorrectly placed, which is very annoying. So there are some details I would like to fix. Not only details / gimmick I really like is reloading the revolver 1 bullet at a time. Powerful gun, but the cost, I love it. I'm thinking of actually buffing that one a little bit. Instead of only having 7 spare bullets, you could have like 9 maybe. So you have like a spare 2. I was thinking of buffing it a little bit because I know like the thing with the revolver is it's kind of like a difficulty increase gun kind of thing. But I like it too. I think the biggest thing is like I really like the UI for that one. I like the UI for that one. I think it's a fun one. This is a new game? No, Scorpio. This is still Suit for Hire. Would I ever consider a snap to cover feature? Probably not. I just don't see it being a fitting thing for this game, especially considering it's a run and gun game. And I think the only thing I would do cover-wise is I would maybe add an animation. Like one thing I was thinking of doing is to kind of appeal to both sides while still leaning in the direction of the game is maybe make it so the animation changes if you're against a wall. That's about it. Maybe if you're underneath like for example, if you're underneath a barrier and your head slightly sticks out, maybe your character kind of like here and kind of like covers under it or something. Just to make it feel like there is a cover system, but not really, because I really just don't think a snap to cover system is necessary for this game. Like I understand it's in Max Payne 3, and I messed around with it in Max Payne 3 when we tested it on stream, but for a game like this where the whole goal is to go in and wipe shit, yeah. You know something I'm realizing? I just realized, I don't know why that changed. The bullets on the UI are going out every single time we fire, not when we're reloading, which is incorrect. Yeah, cover system I feel like would just slow down the game. I just don't think it's necessary. Now, that being said, I'm completely for everybody having their own playstyles, right? So that's why I'm thinking, okay, maybe we find a middle ground. We incorporate it into the animation system. Like maybe we can improve the leaning a little bit, the automatic leaning. Make it so it's a little bit more impactful. But yeah. The revolver's a bit too big, TBH. Hey, we like it big. We like it big around these parts. We're all about huge. I don't know why the animation... Our turn rate is instantaneous, which is incorrect. I thought I fixed that. Hold on, let me see something. Like, I don't know when I made this change. But I guess we changed our default, like, turn rate. And, like, there must have probably been a reason for it, but... yeah. Yeah, I do want to make some AI changes for sure, Joe. I do want to make some AI changes. I want to do two things. I want to change the default AI and improve it a little bit where I can, within reason, of course. But I also want to put in like a hard mode for the people that really want to go into that. That will make the AI even harder. Like they all have different behaviors and whatnot. I think one of the things that I'd like to play around with that idea is the hard mode would be like if you are in front or like right next to an enemy, even if they don't have attack priority, they'll still attack you. So it's like if you like get really close up to an enemy, they'll just beat the shit out of you. So that's something I've been thinking about. But yeah, I do need to make some AI improvements here and there. Hopefully without making it too much harder and instead just making it more consistent. Yeah, the one problem is I actually don't know how I'm going to make it so enemies can go into a doorway or like into a one-way path. Like I don't know what I'm going to do when there's like a one-way path. It's almost like I just have to make all of those singular doors into double doors. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what I could do there. Yeah, because they get a little stuck, you know, a little stuck in traffic. I'm not, to be honest, I don't know how I could fix that. Like I don't really know how I could fix that at all. I don't know. We'll try to figure it out. I do know I do want to make some AI improvements. I just don't know how we would do that one. Because that's like the UE pathing. I have thought about that, making it so gun enemies can melee attack you. I have thought about that. Because then that way you can actually counterattack the gun enemies. I have thought about that. I don't know if that would be a hard mode thing or like if I would just put that in the base game. I guess I could put it into the base game. Let's see why not. I have thought about that though, for sure. Interesting. Even with infinite ammo, that actually uses up your Your bullets. I wonder if that's... Okay. Well. Both hands play recoil animation of dual dingos. That's fixed. No problemo. Let's try to see if we can fix this. Countering attack while in time focus causes the time focus to break. Okay. Hold on, Tallow, are you in stream right now? I did like about Max Payne 3 was the up close executions when you fire point blank. Go into a cinematic mini cutscene / execution. One thing I was thinking of doing is putting in more indicators that you wiped out the enemies in an area. And it's not necessarily connected to what you're saying, Reamer, but I thought it would be kind of cool to put in that cinematic cutscene that shows like either the following the bullet or like maybe you see the enemy and you're kind of circling around them. And then that kind of at least shows an indicator. Like I'd like to start showing indicators for players when they like complete a room and whatnot. Like there are various things I'd like to do for that. One thing I was thinking of doing is when you kill all the enemies in an area, maybe we go into like more of a kind of like idle pose. And if you shoot, then it just immediately goes back into combat pose or whatever. I would just detect where you are in an area. That would be one way of going about it. As well. And so there are some ideas. And those aren't like super hard ideas. The thing about adding features like that is not necessarily adding in the feature. It's about testing it and making sure that everything's not fucking broken. That's the biggest thing, especially with like the fact that we're doing updates to like a whole bunch of players playing the game at once. Yeah, could it be a music change or atmospheric effect? So music is another thing that we wanted to look into. We wanted to it's just it would take a lot of work, and I think my music artist did a little bit of work to make it so we can actually like change the music pacing when you like killed all the enemies, either fading out the music or low passing it and then fading it out a little bit. Because that's another thing, that's another problem, is that the music is just full force all the time. He actually changed up the intro entirely to make it more like cinematic feeling. So I have to pull that and make those changes in the actual game, but the entire intro first track is been completely changed to make it feel more like movie-esque, and it like adjusts as you go along the 3 sections. Yeah. Hardcore mode that deletes your whole operating system if you die. Yo, Tallow. Okay, if that happens to you again, by the way, you have to go to editor preferences. So it fucked up for me as well because we had to upgrade and everything. But if that happens to you, editor preference, try to scroll down. It'll probably fuck up. So just move the window a bit. I think the darker nodes plugin, you'll see a button here called Fix Missing Elements. If you toggle that, it should fix everything, and then just restart, and that should fix it. I think what you can also do is in here is search up Fix Missing, and then you can probably click that, and that should fix your UI the next time, if that happens again. Yeah, there's multiple things I'd like to do, I think. Uh-oh. Oh, fuck. It's accessing none because we're doing a pure cast. Oh, and inside it selected a fucking ball sack. Oh, sure. Oh. Right. Right. Right, that makes sense. Right, righty-o. Righty-o, then. Righty-do. Big select. Love to see it. Big, huge, humongous, ginormous select. Yes. Big boy select. I'm starting to think I should just refactor this to use the struct, and then that struct we feed it from the thing, and then that's cleaner code, and then we can maybe do the same thing with this, because this is fucking awful as well, and it's fucking poopy and shit. I think I have a safe select, don't I? God, am I really gonna have to do this just for one fucking gun? You know what? Maybe I do change the struct in the case that a modder wants to change this, and then that would make it so they have an easier time doing this if they ever wanted to add a custom gun. And by doing this, it would make it a little bit easier for them at the very least. Time to brick the entire project. You know, before I do this actually, because changing a struct is destructive, let's go ahead and just push the changes, because I've not pushed to Perforce in a while. Let me be a good developer. Yeah, that was mentioned is the melee enemies. Ever think of porting the game to PS5? It is something in the back of my mind, for sure. V1.1.14. What do you think of the name Rotten Revolver for a cowboy versus zombie shooter? Sounds cool. Cool, man. Whatever feels like the coolest thing to you at the end of the day, right? But I think it's a neat name. Rotten Revolver. Do I use Git? I use Perforce. Everything is through Perforce, which is a form of Git, as far as I know. I think. I don't know. I'm not going to act like I'm smart. I'll patent that name before you can make his game to teach him a lesson. Hurry, get it on Steam, Twiggy. Hurry. What about Guns of the Dead? That kind of sounds like it'd be a on the rails shooter. Guns of the Dead, you know what I mean? Guns of the Dead. That sounds very like on the rails kind of shooter. Like, you know, shit you play in the arcade. I don't know why it's reminding of that. Something of the Dead. Just reminds me of a on the rails. House of the Dead? Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, House of the Dead. That might be it. Yeah. Do they still have those in arcades? Do arcades still exist? That should be the real question. Did that shit even exist still? Didn't want to use the word undead because of Red Dead Redemption Zombie DLC. So here's my feeling about the word undead. Undead kind of implies a little bit of a, at least to me, it implies a little bit of a goofy element to it. So at least whenever I hear the word terms dead and undead, it kind of leans into a very goofy zombie element. I'm curious what you guys, how do you guys feel about that? It's one of the reasons why I'm trying so hard to avoid those terminologies for my zombie games, and instead doing like CQZ or whatever, the Crimson Quarantine Zone, even though that's probably going to be an awful name, but who knows. Day Zero is already taken because it's literally Day Z. Where the fuck am I? Where the fuck I am? Help? What am I doing? Oh, right. We were going to fix our horrendous fucking code. I remember now. I wanted to add to this. Oh, fucking shite. That means I'm going to have to edit every instance of that event, which is fine. Which is fine. Probably a good thing. I think undead is neutral to me. I mainly associate it with WoW. Okay. That's fair. You know why I probably think undead feels so like goofy to me is because I feel like undead is always like a term used in like kind of some like horror movies and whatnot. That's kind of like they try to be serious, but they're kind of comedic in their own way. And I feel like undead is kind of like, I don't know. I think like terminologies that I would think of when it comes to like more serious tonality zombies is like infected or maybe it's like all of the bad zombie games that I've seen and now it's just like in my brain. I don't know, Sinless. I've thought about it for sure. I don't know if that would be a hard mode thing. I kind of like the idea of like projectile enemies being projectile enemies and then the melee enemies being melee. But I do like the idea of projectile enemies being able to attack you. I do like the idea. And I wonder if like in the hard mode, we like implement those things. Like I wonder if that would be like an interesting element is like making it so all of the enemies become a huge danger to you no matter what. It would become a little unfair in some way. In some way, it would become a little unfair. But I guess that's down to the player to learn the mechanics of... down to the player to figure out those mechanics, right? It does mean, though, the cool thing about that... is then you can start counterattacking the gun enemies, which I think is good in its own way, respect. How to become unfair? I guess the idea is that I associate a gun enemy as a gun enemy in the game design. And then a melee enemy is a melee enemy. But... right? And it's like suddenly they play an animation that's like, oh, hey, they're about to fucking swing at you and beat you in the face. Make it so that if a projectile enemies can't melee, but the trade-off is that if they shoot you, you die in real life. The true 4D experience. What are some other terminologies you could use in Wild West zombie era? Like, what are some words you could use there? Shotgun enemies can block. Not sure if that's intentional. I think I saw your report just now. I think it's possible they're just not playing the animation for it. It's possible they're not playing the animation. Yeah. Good, Jay. I made it so when you shoot the revolver thing, he spins, but I can't for the life of me figure out the math to make it just rotate 20 degrees so it's lined up with the next bullet. Do you have a video of that, Twiggy, to see what it's looking like? Rotting and tooting. Dead folk. What's a rhyme with rot in the Wild West? Rotten West. I don't know. Rot shot. See, rot shot sounds like that could also be on the rails a little bit. What is this music from? This is from Tunic. Okay, time to refactor this garbage code. Okay, so we need a force feedback effect, which is a force feedback effect. Who would have thought? Who would have thunk? And then below that, we need the recoil montage, which is a anim montage. Now, we need to go in all of our code and fix everything that's going to be fucked, which is like everything. So like, oh God. Okay, put that right there. Okay, put that right there. Put that under that guy. Oh man, the subway station has expanded. We now have 2 new lines. 2 new lines. They're tight. They're close together. Fuck, this code is... I'm gonna puke. Next game, we're 100% making a better weapon system. This is not it. This ain't it, bro. This is not it, man. This is not it. Did I add barrels into the tutorial? I might just not remember them being here. The blue barrels have always been there. Thanks for allowing mouse side buttons to be used in the game. Most devs don't even bother. I'm going to be honest, Ruby. That was just the plugin that allowed that to happen. Thank goodness it did. I think one thing I'd like to fix with that is the UI and how it shows on the text, which I think I might be able to fix. Actually, I might be able to reproduce this myself, actually. Hold on. I just don't like how it looks on the screen. Like, what I've noticed from gameplay is that the text will show enormous. It'll be long. It'll be like thumb, mouse, button, you know, which is like enormous. So let me see if... Yeah, it shows thumb, mouse, button. I think we can maybe turn that into like TMB. See, you see that at the bottom there? God, I don't like that. So... let's actually fix that right now. Let's fix that right now, because I think there's a way of doing that in here. Key friendly names. Yes, sir. Escape, escape. Let's see if this works. Yes! Yes! I only have 2 thumb mouse buttons. I hope no one's playing with that one Logitech MMO fucking mouse that has 17 buttons on the side, because let me tell you, I'm not putting that in. That is not going in the game. What does middle mouse button show? Let's do MMB for that. All right. This should make it look a little nicer. TMB. Yo, Pog. TMB. Yeah. How about TMB2? Action Boogaloo. Okay. How about middle mouse button? Oh, wait, that has an icon. Oh, never mind. I didn't even need to put that in. Okay. Put it in the patch notes. Thumb mouse buttons will now show as TMB. Wait. Is it thumb mouse button? Yes. There you go. Fixing things at the speed of light here. You just reminded me about that. I'm glad I got that out of the way. Is it normal to have 5 buttons on a mouse these days? 5 buttons on the side? You know what I used to have? I used to have this mouse. You guys know which one I'm talking about? I used to have a G600. Wait, no, not G600. Yes, G600. I used to have this mouse. Look at the amount of fucking buttons on the side of this stupid thing. Like, what do you do with this? I kept accidentally pushing these. It was the most annoying thing having this on where your thumb is. Like, how do you use all of these? Listen. I'm not putting in overrides for each one. I'm not putting in overrides for each one of these. I'm too lazy. I'm too lazy. Maybe get a better mouse.
I just...
Stupid ads.
Sound, thank you for the prime. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm making my review was on the dev stream, thanked him for a feature, and he said, yeah, but I'm not satisfied with it, and went ahead and upgraded. Absolute mad lad. Well, it's because I see it, and I'm like, damn, that looks like shit. And I don't want my game to look like shit. You know, as many as the negative reviews say, I don't want my game to look like fucking shit. You know, I want it to be good. I want it to be a good game. I want people to have a good time with it. Okay. We're all set. Let's, what were we figuring out? Oh, right, we were cleaning all of this up, which means I now have to go into every instance of where this exists and put the code in. Okay, how many, okay. Every single gun has one of these? Okay. Well, time to get to work, I guess. Time to do a little bit of grunt work. All right, DMR first. First and foremost, the DMR, the force feedback is strong fire. And the recoil montage is AR recoil. Done. Done and dusted. All right, next up, Dragon Breath. Dragon Breath, I believe, is also strong fire, if I remember correctly. You know what we also fucked around on stream? It's kind of fun, and we'll probably mess around with it a little bit more as we get more time. is basic fire with the dragon breath. No. No. Strong fire. Let's make that. Why is the damage amount 0? Wait, actually though, like why is the damage amount 0? Excuse me? Is there a reason for that? Maybe there is a reason for that. I don't know. Recoil montage is. There isn't one. You've got to be fucking kidding me. Is this a joke? Is this some kind of sick joke? Had a technical interview for my DevOps job I applied for. I think I did well. I'm so tired of this job search. 1 year unemployed anniversary on August 7th. Sound, I'm telling you, man. The world is just trying to tell you, you need to, like, you're going to start a business and create some fucking giga product on your own. You don't need these damn companies. These damn sly companies. But rent? You'll get it. You'll get it. Wait, what? Wait, what? Custom fire weapon fire struct? Where the fuck I am, man? Wait. Uh-oh. Guys, I'm in for a world of hurt. There's a lot more places where this fire struct gets called. And I'm extremely, extremely, extremely concerned. How do we feed the information to the Deagle? Put that in a notepad. To do. Deagle. Don't know what's the fuck is going on in here. I don't know what's going on in here. Okay, next what? Default. Yes, sir. I'm in the wrong place. Wait, what? Why is this one being called like this too? Oh, this is bullshit. All right, default. Okay, I think all of the primary weapons are structured like this in a very odd and weird way. Guys. God, I hate this. Why did I code all of this like this? What was wrong with past me? He was in fucking shambles. Why didn't someone should have gave that man a coffee? Or like, I don't know, a beer or some nice big glass of beer, you know? Jeez. What the hell was he thinking? Me and my wife and son are living on $2,000 a month right now. God damn. God damn. God damn. That's just my rent. $2,000 in general for the whole month? For 2 adults and a child? What? Listen, I got a cat to feed. I'm struggling. All right, respect. That's probably the hardest one out of all of us. Let's be real. All right, where the fuck I am? I have a dog to feed? Okay, that's not as bad. A cat is cats just fucking, they're just assholes. All they want is food. And drugs. Mostly drugs. Lots of drugs. Where am I? Including rent is 1,000. Food 320. Yo, what the fuck? And 300 in saving and some pocket money. Wait, how much? I guess you don't need to buy diapers. I guess maybe you're past that stage. I've only had sweet cats. Every time I hear of cats, that's not true. That's not true. I do see some stories about cats that are cuddly. But I also see cats that are just like, hey, I see your hand doesn't have any fucking scratches. Here, you. He's 5, so he eats chicken nuggets and pizza exclusively. Yo, that's my diet. That's my diet. Yo. Yo. Yeah, my diet's pretty bad. You don't want me to list my living expenses? I'm in CA. You don't want me to list mine. I'm a game developer and a streamer. That's fucking bad. Let's be real. Let's be real, okay? Have you seen the diet of a streamer? These fuckers be eating McDonald's. Okay, I don't eat McDonald's, but usually the owners that don't know how to take care of cats, they're not dogs where any affection is appreciated. Imagine you were constantly being grabbed and petted when you wanted to go do something. What the fuck are they gonna go do? Sleep? Eat? Shit? Play with a ball of yarn? All this pet talk. I filmed a pet expo this past weekend. Most fun I had filming an event in a while. That sounds great. That does sound great. My cat's a dumbass who's afraid of everything, including her own tail and food dishes if they make noise. Listen, man, I too have anxiety issues, okay? Don't judge them. All right? They're trying their best. Them waking up, that's a challenge. All right? I feel that. My cat's an interior decorator? Do you mean decorator or destructor? Constantly scratching corners? Hey, they're doing you a favor by softening the corners so then when you inevitably stub your toe into the corner, it's not going to hurt as bad. You're welcome. They're softening the corners a little bit. You know what I mean? They're making it nice and soft. They're actually looking out for you. Yeah. Berries taste good and have antioxidants. Okay, thank you, dietitian. I appreciate that. Where am I? I gotta clean this piece of shit code still. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, but what was I searching? I think I was searching up Firegun Base. I think that's what I was searching. Yes, sir. I was doing this. Find references. The Deagle and the Default are fucked. The Nail Gun, I would assume, is also fucked. Okay, it's all of the primaries. So all the primaries I'm going to have to come up with a different system for. That's okay. We can fix that. No problem. The single shot as well. I hate this code. Okay, listen, all right? Coding Jesus, if you end up looking at my code to, I don't know, make a video on me or something in the future. Let me tell you, I'm not a C++ coder of 20 years. I have not worked at Blizzard for 7 years. I don't give a shit. I know it's ass. All right, thank you, Coding Jesus. Thank you. Just acknowledgement. Let's get that out of the way. Thank you. Who's Coding Jesus? Just another YouTuber that joined in on the sandbagging of Pirate Software. There is 2 fire gun bases for the revolver? Why are there 2? Oh, I see. I see. I do see. I see. This does not play a recoil anim. However, we still need to put it in. Name dropper, he's not real? No, his name is literally Coding Jesus. I don't know what to tell you. Like, his name is literally Coding Jesus. So, his name is literally Coding Jesus. That's his YouTube channel. By the way, do you want me to send those gifts now to keep the hype train going? Nah, don't worry about it, brother. What gifts? How much trouble would it be to add a pencil as an overpowered melee weapon? I just don't think anybody would even notice it's a pencil unless I scaled it up to be so large that it's the size of your hand. So I don't really know if it would be impactful at all in the game. I was referencing Pirate Software's mod, aka employee whose DMs got leaked faking hype trains. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, sorry. Took me a second to fill in that gap. My B. Hey, my B. Didn't get it. I'm a dummy. So it seems like all of the primary weapons are fucked. That's okay. We can get that fixed. Which weapon are we looking at? We're looking at the AR. The AR has a low basic fire. And I'm also going to assume that the recoil montage is just AR recoil. Who would have thought? Yes. Attach a mini camera on the pen and have it in the top left. I tried to be level-headed about Pirate Software, but that dude dug his own grave. Listen, all of that aside, all of the people trying to farm the content on the YouTube channel, I think they're worse. I think they're worse, in my opinion. I think they're worse. TBH, I think they're worse. I already did the Dragon Breath. Wait, hold on. What the fuck? Why am I going through these shits again? Basic enemy pistol. Basic pistol is just pistol recoil. And then what's the force feedback effect for a basic pistol? Basic fire. You got it. That Code Jesus dude barged in, started flaming Thor, slapped subjective coding practices, objective facts, and that's it. I thought that video was kind of cringe. I thought those videos were kind of fucking cringe. I think that person should just stick to doing the tutorials. I'm sure they were doing a great job. They really don't need to try to bank in on the fucking drama, because in my opinion, that just puts a stain on your name. Yeah, I do have to fix that, Reamer. I do have to fix that. I think the thing about code that a lot of YouTubers and some developers forget about, and they look at the code after the fact, after a whole development cycle has gone in, they look at it and they look at it as like at the highest regard, when I think that's a fool's errand, especially considering timelines and various other things that come into play during a development cycle. Don't get me wrong, I do agree with the fact that even though you're a solo developer, you should make clean code because future you will thank past you. That I can agree with. But, you know, scavengers feast first. I like that saying. That's a really good saying. Scavengers feast first. Strong fire. Like, if someone looks at my code, they're going to see it's dog shit. That's okay. I think it did a good job of curbing the stank on your name behavior. Not saying that to insinuate that you had it, but just saying a compliment. Like, what do you mean, yeah? Like, if someone were to like look at my past VODs or something, they wouldn't like find anything? What do you mean? Recoil montage is, I'm going to assume AI recoil. Shotgun, AI recoil. Like, it won't seem like you're a toxic dev sort of thing. I'm sure someone can take my shit out of context. But generally, I don't try to be toxic. Sometimes I talk about things that I want to talk about that I shouldn't talk about on a live stream. Like talking about the Power Software thing. Like, don't get me wrong, I probably shouldn't be talking about other developers. But I talk about everything and everyone. You know what I mean? Like, I just talk about what I want to talk about. You know what I mean? I don't want to feel like I have to put a muzzle on and whatnot. Like, and I'm sure anybody can and rightfully judge whatever I do and whatnot, and that's perfectly acceptable. And I'll be upfront. I'm lazy. I'm a lazy dev. Who fucking isn't? Do you go to work and you're like, I'm gonna be the most productive motherfucker? No, you don't. Nobody does that. I'm lazy. The human body and the human brain is just, we try to find the most easiest way to do something. That's just the reality of it. I'm just lazy. I'm a lazy guy. Where am I? Pump shotgun. Next, RPG. God, having to do this kind of sucks, but that's okay. In the long run, it'll be a little bit better for me, I guess. RPG strong fire. If I were going to assume it's going to be AI, there's no animation. We're going to put AI recoil in here. Yeah. Flazmer. Hi there. How do you deal with animations? I find it hard to make an animation from scratch. Honestly, it's just a case of pushing through it. Try to watch some videos, learn some of the fundamentals, and then just learn it. Learn how to improve your workstation, I guess you could say, using whatever program you're using. I think that's a big one with animating, is just kind of like coming up with a comfortable IK, FK rig and whatnot. Like, that helps a lot, you know. And then from there, it's just figuring out the fundamentals. It's just like, those things are also like a big part as well. But I think it is a small game of patience. I'm not very good at animating either, and like, I'm not gonna act like I'm a professional. I'm not. Posing a good animation for me takes a really long time to get it to a state where I'm like, okay, I'm okay with this. Low basic fire. Do you have any animations you made from scratch? I have created some reload animations. Like this gun, I created a reload animation for. You know, it's like pretty, you know, it's pretty basic. It's nothing like crazy. Right? The nail gun is another one. Not that you can even see what's going on. What's another? The silenced pistol I created an animation for. Yeah. But honestly, I would say just keep pushing. I'd say just keep pushing. Push through it. Any tutorials I can recommend? I don't know. For me, I just looked at the Cascadeur. For Cascadeur specifically, I looked at some of the documentation for it. That was a big one for me. For like Blender specifically, oh man, I don't remember what like tutorials I watched. What was that guy that makes the really goofy reload animations? I think he had a Blender tutorial at one point that kind of helped me a little bit to get started with Blender. I've only tried animation inside of Unreal. I would just search up control rig animation tips then, like, and then maybe try to look up some animation, like, watch some animation time lapses. No, not Donut, not Donut. I think his name starts with an R. I forgot his name. Hyper. There we go. That's the one. Hyper has like one tutorial for Blender, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I swear he had a tutorial, and I saw that one a long time ago, and it helped a little bit to kind of, you know, figure out some of the workflow. But that's for Blender, of course. Sawed-off shotgun is, I would assume, AR recoil. It doesn't have a recoil. Well, put one in then. Hey, if it works. Maybe we put pistol recoil. That probably makes sense too. Strong fire. I'm lazy, should be color grading a project, but instead I'm watching you while playing guitar. Hey, playing guitar, hell yeah. What kind of guitar is it? The only difference between people is how well a person can cope with the standard laziness that we all have. I just think like there is a subset of gamers that like think all game devs are lazy or something like that. And I'll just say, yeah, I am. I do try to find shortcuts so then that way I can develop more things. I do. I really don't care what someone says. Well, that's not true. I don't care. There are moments where I'm like, I get triggered by something someone says just because of how fucking stupid it is. Not because it was thrown at me, but just because of how fucking stupid it is. Drag and drop dev guy! Oh! I'm gonna get you one day! Even though he's banned and I probably will never see that individual again in my entire fucking life until I die. Scorpion. Which weapon type is this? SMG. Interesting. So SMG is super low basic fire. Super low basic fire. Yeah. An Ibanez. Oh, you have oh, you got that fucking signature one. Yeah, you got the signature. That's a headless, isn't it? Yeah, it is a headless. One day I wouldn't mind getting a headless. I feel like it'd be kind of cool. I don't know if I'd get an Ibanez headless. I'd probably get a like, here's the thing. I have told myself I will no longer buy any other guitars until I'm like good at playing it. Now I like, yeah, because like what I would buy is a TOD10. Buy this like nice pink. Oh, God. Yeah. Fuck. Like, this is nice, but pink. This is like a nice shade of pink. I saw one Reddit post that was so funny. If Tim Henson could name this, he would probably call it Clitoris Pink. And I always think, every time I see that guitar, I'm always like, yeah, that's Clitoris Pink, brother. Oh, God. I can't unthink that. My nicest guitar I have is a TOD10N. It's such a nice looking guitar. It really is. I got a bass as well. I also have a 7-string Ibanez. I got a 6-string just regular Squire because that was the first one I got to kind of learn. And then I have another classical, but it's in the case. iPhone pink. There you go. Thing weighs 4.5 pounds. Feels fantastic for longer gigs. I feel like that's good. That's the benefit of like a headless. I feel like. Do I use Cascadeur or Blender? Is UE good for animating? I have not tried UE5's animating. Apparently, Control Rig is a lot better in UE5. But I switch between Cascadeur or Blender depending on what I'm doing. Not necessarily lazy, more recognition of when I'm mentally taxed and working unproductively. Frequent breaks help the brain to relax, and I'm way more productive with a relaxed mind. I'm just, so here's why I say lazy, because I do think after like thinking about like, when I was in school and stuff like that, I was a huge procrastinator, like huge, like enormous. And to this day, I think it's funny because I got out of school and I was like, you know, maybe this won't actually, maybe this is just because I'm in school. And no, that's just me. I'm just I'm a big procrastinator. Yeah. It's way better, but Control Rig is drag and drop, so yeah, can't do it. Not a real dev. You should be animating by hand in code. All right? It's not procrastination, it's power saving. Yeah, let's listen. That 6 hours of old school RuneScape isn't gonna do itself. Okay, someone's got to do it. someone's got to chop all those logs and turn them into like bows and shit. Someone's got to fucking do it. All right, and listen, that person has to be me. It has to be me. I got to be the guy. Did I get all the guns? I got all of them except for the primary weapons. Okay, so now we got to fix the primary weapons. Okie dokie. All right. All of this for this one moment. All right. So it's the list is every single primary weapon. Every single one. Let's start with the Deagle because all of this started because of the fucking Deagle. Fucking stupid shit. I'll never forget when a producer was leading 2 meetings at the same time and automating his RuneScape grinding, and I was like, this is game dev. I love that. I love that. I'll have you know, I spent 4 hours today making knife slash animations, and they all look terrible. I'm going to tell you, man, I did first-person sword animations, and that took me a while. I wish I could launch up that project. I might be able to. Hold on. Hold. I might be able to just boot it up without like actually opening it. Does launch game work? What does launch game even do? Does that actually like launch the game? Or does it just launch the engine? Oh shit, it's launching the game. Okay, percent chance that this starts compiling 5 million shaders and then the stream crashes. All right, throw in your numbers now. Throw in your predictions. Throw in your predictions. I'm thinking 37% chance. It's a pretty average chance. For 70%. 30% I'm optimistic. I like those odds. I like those odds. It's a 1/3 chance. 1 in 3 chance this fucks itself. Watch this. I'm just gonna freeze like my computer. Pretty good, eh? I'm pretty good at... You thought your internet went out. Anyways. Where the fuck am I, man? Hey, guys. It's not working. It's still a black screen. Oh, shit. Kind of feel like the silencer needs a buff in the ultimate or something, by the way. I agree. I've been trying to think of what to put on that silenced weapon to like make it feel better. I have been thinking about it. I have been trying to think of like, what should we put the character in a box? You're pretty good at doing nothing. Thank you. Thank you. I know. Anyways. Yeah. Yeah, I've been trying to think of what the silence weapon could do. Just, when you crouch, you hide in a box. Hey, the weather today. It's 27 degrees. Damn, that's crazy, man. It's pretty hot. Guys, I'm gonna be honest. I think it's 100% chance this shit doesn't even open. I've never tried clicking launch game on a game before. Oh wait, there's a message. I didn't know this was on the screen. Okay. Oh shit. Let's just open it. Fuck it. You know, hey, I'm a game dev. As long as it doesn't start compiling 5 million shaders. Hold on, let me check my C drive. Okay, we're okay, but my E drive is at 69 gigabytes and I'm not feeling too good about that. I gotta clear that a little bit. That poor guy. Maybe a portable bush to hide in. You know what could be good? Crouching does not slow down your movement speed. Hey, you could do like a fast crouch or something. Sidetrack? No, this is real game dev. Well, it's because somebody pointed out the whole idea of slashing animations, and I was like, you know, I'll fucking show what I got going on for that. So this was a project I was working on way back. Let me see if I can close this, if it'll bring back my FPS. Nope. No. So I made these animations. I don't know why that's broken. Guys, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know why that broke. I literally didn't. I have not touched this project in 5 million years. How did that break? So These animations were pretty hard for me. Even the kick. Some of you might remember when we did. We made this game on. We were working on this game on stream. Yeah. Is this Shady Knight too? The biggest influence or inspiration for this was Devil Daggers, actually. Wait, why is my wall run not working? Okay, how did this project break? I literally did nothing to it. But this was like an idea of a project that we could work on. We could still work on it and make like a really short form game. Like we could. We could. But yeah, making the animations was not easy. And like even to this day, they're not like the perfect animations. But I do agree, like, there's a lot of follow-through. Just think of everything in stages, right? You got that, like, pre-stage that defines, like, where it's going to go. Then the swing is a lot faster, right? Yeah. This is like a random thing we were messing around with. I don't know, though, if I were to work on this again, I don't even know where I would, like, I don't even know where I would bring it. Like some kind of endless mode? Another roguelite? I don't know. I literally don't know what I would do with this. You get the shit out quick, I think. Do you think people would buy a $5 game if it was literally just an arena and you just try to like last as long as possible? Kind of Devil Dagger style. And maybe we put some upgrades and shit. And it's just like combat. It's literally just first person combat. You think people would buy that? You know, I feel like people these days really like a lot of progression elements and stuff like that. There was that one physics-based arena that people loved. Physics-based arena. I think it's one of those where it blows up or does absolutely nothing. Oh, Half Sword. That's true. Dude, people did go crazy with Half Sword. That is true. Literally, I think the dev didn't even plan for the Void mode becoming as popular as it did, but people seem to really love that whole Void mode. Reminds me of Blood Thief. That's true. I think Blood Thief is kind of within that realm. Was I gonna make it so, yeah, I think I was gonna make it so you can grab on the swords. I don't know. Maybe we do work on this as like a fuck around kind of project. Maybe like I could see us finishing this within like 2 to 3 months. Maybe. Maybe this could be the project that I use to learn C++, and then maybe Ronin could be multiplayer. Because I did think about Ronin being co-op. It's just the thing is it'd be so difficult to do that. Anyways, yeah, we were working on this for a long time. I think I would make it so you don't throw swords. Instead, you like use a bow and an arrow or something. And then maybe the upgrades could be like random upgrades. You could go kind of Vampire Survivor-esque style. I don't know. Anyways. Yeah, fun little thing. Yeah, doing let me tell you, first person slashing animations, fucking tough. Let me tell you, it's very tough. Like it's a lot of like messing around with it. Also, another thing I learned, first person animations, if you were to look at it from a third person perspective, look like fucking shit. It's just inevitable. All you need to care about is what does it look like in the viewport? Yeah. Do you think learning C++ sometime down the road of using Unreal is inevitable? I think I would say don't be scared of it. Don't be scared of it. In my opinion, I think the stability in UE5 is a bit rocky with Blueprint structs and enums at the very least. I would recommend I would personally recommend learning a little bit of C++ once you feel comfortable with blueprints and whatnot. I don't think it's not like 100% necessary, but I would say if you're really serious about it, I would recommend that. Came for the game design, stayed for the jank. That's the name of the game in this stream. How you doing, Johnny? Yeah, there are some functions that only exist in C++, which honestly could have been exposed in Blueprint, to be honest, but maybe a small co-op arena slashing game to prepare for Ronin. I don't know if I would make that one co-op. So here's what I want to do. I'm going to learn C++ or use it more. And then I want to get into co-op and learn more replication and whatnot. I think I learned some of the fundamentals of multiplayer by watching a bunch of like videos and guides and reading a lot of documentation. So I think I understand some of the fundamentals there. It's just applying it in a way that's effective without losing packets. That's a big thing. If you do too much replication, too many replicated events, then you start up clogging up the fucking server, and then you start causing desync and all these other problems and blah, 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 blah. It's trying to figure out, okay, what things do we do? Custom event server to replicate it. You know what I mean? Like, those are the big things that I'm trying to figure out from there. So I'd like to learn it in stages, because I think that would be more reasonable as a developer. So I think that game I would make it single player. Ronin, though, I would love making it co-op because I think that would be awesome. By the way, right now in the game, shooting at a barrel negatively impacts our accuracy score or no? Let's find out. So when I hit God mode, it shows us our stats. One of those stats is missed bullet. So it counts as a shot fired, but it does not count as a missed bullet. That being said, yeah, it does, I think, mess up your clean suit. So I've been reading you guys' messages. That might be something I do where it doesn't reset your clean suit. I don't know if it would add to your clean suit, though. I think maybe just making it so it does not reset could be a good change for sure. To incentivize using explosive barrels more. I think accuracy though is fine. Make the sword go back like Kratos' axe. That could also be really cool. Like maybe, ideally, for that game, the first person game, maybe we have different weapon types. Like that could be really fucking sick. Like that's the thing you unlock is different weapons. I don't know. No Cumsy. I think Cumsy I would want to work on later on for sure. That one I would 100% want C++ and multiplayer experience because I don't want to fuck that one up. I think one of the things that is so equated when it comes to zombie games is like they're always so buggy. And I want to make like a good-ish, for the most part, experience for the zombie game. I do want to work on that. Don't get me wrong. There's so many things I want to work on. There's so many things I want to work on. I just know for sure I want to get more into C++, learn a little bit more of that, you know what I mean? Yeah. I know there was a lot of promises for different projects. I think we're going to get to them. It's just a case of when. Okay, we gotta work on these weapons before I forget, because I'm going to forget. Made a networked Mario Kart controller and Blueprint without a movement component. It had prediction reconciliation. Absolutely cursed, but it worked. See, that would be, I think, a good thing for me to learn, because I've always relied on the movement component in Unreal. And I never really tried to make my own. Which is obviously, you know, problematic, because then I am reducing the amount I'm learning. That being said, basic fire. That being said, what was I thinking? I have gone and read, there is a really cool documentation for the character movement component that breaks it down a lot, which is great. And I was able to learn a little bit from reading this documentation, and I heavily recommend, if you are in Unreal, that you read this documentation, because it is absolutely fire. And for some reason, it's only in UE427. Now, I don't know how outdated it is, but I did learn quite a bit from reading this. It shows you a bunch of things on how replication works, how perform, like basically going through like all the events that occur in it. I think reading this, when I read it way back, it like made me realize I have a lot to learn still. Now, I obviously have a lot to learn. Don't get me wrong. But like, I thought I had a grasp of the basics and intermediates. This made me realize, wow, I really don't. So, there's a lot of things I'd like to push through. That's why I kind of want to like take it one step at a time before I start like throwing myself into the zombie game and fuck it all up. Or Ronin. I don't want to fuck up Ronin either. I really want that game to be good. That's why I've kind of scoped down on it a bunch. And whatnot. But this article, really great. I'll link it in both chats. If you haven't seen it. Heavily recommend. It's a really good page to go through. Kind of breaks down how replication works for it. Instead of, I think if I remember correctly, it's a struct that is in like an array. And it goes through that array for the movement, if I remember correctly. What does it do again? I just remember it's something crazy. Yeah, this object will store information to be used by later processes to reproduce the owning client's movement. If I remember correctly, there is a struct somewhere in here that there is a struct somewhere. I don't know where. Is it the server prediction data? I don't remember. Oh, right. Saved moves. Called to a buffer called saved moves. It's crazy. This is so much stuff, dude. It's not as scary as it seems with movement components. The character movement component is just massive with the amount of stuff it does that makes it scary. Plus, movement components have an advantage of moving a component and having it slide across surfaces for you automatically. Yeah, like, I think the only reason why I'd want to create my own is not to actually use one myself, but just to learn the insides of it. You know what I mean? Just to really learn the insides. Now, here's the thing. I could probably just fucking... I could probably just read the C++ code to learn how they did it. That would probably be more than enough. Okay, recoil montage. Right hand, left hand. I actually need to do Alt. Wait, what the fuck? Oh, I guess I use that. Very interesting. Select, into a select, into a select, into its... Okay. Deagle done, baby. Next one, default, I think. Is this done? Let's just double check before I fucking rejoice. Yep. Pog. Humongous. Any thoughts, pros and cons about the old input versus the new enhanced input? At first, I was a little daunted by the amount of, like, starting stages stuff you have to do to enable the enhanced input stuff. Now, after all the improvements and all the things that are exposed in the enhanced input, I think the enhanced input is better. I think it gives you a lot of control that you otherwise would have to program in yourself. So... I would say the enhanced input, I think, is better now. I think the nice thing about UE4's input is it's very easy to just create an input by default. The problem is you got to do everything yourself. You got to do, yeah, you got to, like, if you wanted to customize the, like for thumbstick, for example, if you wanted to customize the, what do you call that? Dead space? Dead radius? I forget. That's not right. It doesn't... Dead zone. If you wanted to customize the dead zone yourself, you'd have to do all that shit yourself. Whereas I think in UE5 with enhanced input, the dead zone is like a function. It's like just a function that's there for you to just utilize. Now, I don't know how you would customize it. I'm sure there is a way though. It exposes all that stuff for you, which is really, I think, neat. It's just, it might just not be as beginner friendly in some ways. I guess the thing is, if you're going for the first time into UE5, I think you won't have any problems because it's like, it won't matter to you, but yeah. Also, UE5 enhanced input has significantly less input latency than UE4. Interesting. Personally, having dived a little into a movement component, full first person, I soon realized that the movement component itself is multiple times more code than most full indie games alone. It's because it has multiplayer hooked into it and everything. Like literally, you can start an empty project and your movement is already replicated, right? So, yeah. I do want to dive into like the movement because like I never know how to do movement. Like I don't even know how to make my own collision system. Not that I would, but I you know, just out of curiosity to know like what goes into it and what's being done to get that to work and stuff, you know? I think it is good to know those things. Am I going to fucking make a whole game from scratch? No. No, I wouldn't. I do not give a shit for that, to be honest. I don't really care for that. I think it's impressive that people are able to do that, but that's not my wheelhouse. That ain't my wheelbarrow. Okay, so Deagle is done. Next up is the default weapon. I think we can feed that into this one, because this one just needs the information for the animation. Don't get me wrong, it's really fucking stupid the way I'm doing it, but it is the way we are doing it. Would it be awesome if you could just pull out the bloat out of UE5 somehow? You could try pulling the source code and seeing how much you could delete, but the thing is you could disable a lot of things. I think actually there is a fork of the source code that someone like, I think it's the source code edited, where they like cleaned it a shit ton. Like they brought it down to its bare bones. And I think they got it down to like 70 megabytes or some I don't remember what the number was. I just know that someone did that. I just know someone did do that. I forget what it's called. I'm sure someone probably knows in chat. Check the new movement system, way better. I do want to look into that. Yeah, Mover 2.0. That's going to be very interesting, man. Mover 2.0 is going to be a pretty big step. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Is there a way to use AI to review blueprints with Unreal to find bugs or improve logic? I don't know. I know that's been asked before. I don't know. Someone said they tried it out and it worked, but I don't use AI for any of my my code stuff. I'll probably try to use it when I get into Writer and do a lot of C++, because it's gonna be a big struggle bus. But that being said, that's life, baby. That's just life. That is just the process of learning things. You have to make your own engine? Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, Reamer, there is a hotkey for it. Literally, someone requested it a long time ago in early access. When you die, R is like a fast retry. That being said, there's going to be a full-on button that you'll be able to press no matter what. Like when you, even when you're alive. It is on my to-do list. The only thing is I don't know if I'll get it into this update, because I would want to make it so, I think before I put this in, I want to make sure that we can clear inputs entirely. I'd want to be able to clear a binding, because let's say you edit this and then you don't want it anymore. I would want to have like a button to clear it. We did do a little bit of diving in to figure out what would have to go into that. I'd have to edit a lot of C++ code. I'd have to duplicate a bunch of code to make sure that I can actually start fucking clearing things. So this will probably get in a future update. Just because of the pure nature of it. In fact, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put this and group it with that one. Yeah. Okay, default weapon, I believe, should now work. No problem. So I can probably delete this, because we no longer need that. How is Mover 2.0? Have they made any progress on that, on the latest UE main on GitHub? Is there any progress on on Mover 2.0 in there. Lots of good progress on it? Hell yeah. That's what you like to see. Still trying to solve for mesh smoothing and stuff like that. What is mesh smoothing? Fill me in. What is the mesh smoothing? What is mesh smoothing? What does it do? It's when you smooth the mesh. Ah, thank you. Did not know. I would have never thought. What the shit? How did he know that? What the fuck? Okay, I think all of these just use the same code. The mesh needs to be updated appropriately so it's not jittery, since the game logic needs to run at 6A, 60 FPS, and the render mesh should be at whatever FPS the computer can do, but it needs to be updated in coordination with the 60 FPS tick rate. I see. What might be fun with the nail gun, adding a satisfying sound effect when in the moment they get pinned to a surface. I think there is a sound effect when they get pinned to a surface, isn't there? I thought I added one in, unless that broke. It should make like a ding sound if I remember correctly. Let me double check. Dummy. All right, dummy, prepare. Yeah, that metallic sound. Unless... Yeah, it's the metallic sound. Yeah. Also, question. Why is he not getting attached to... Wait, hold on. Is the nail gun not working anymore? Oh, there we go. It's just the dummy for some reason doesn't do it. Oh! Oh! This would definitely get us banned in certain countries. That, you know what that reminds me of? There's like a whole debacle going on with that that SWAT game, and they had to like tone down some of the violence and shit. That's that might have to be something we tone down. that might actually be something we might have to tone down. Say debacle again? Debacle. Debacle. Debacle? Debacle. 5.4 included all the improvements to Mover 2.0 as well as 5.5 brought animation support. Probably more to come to 5.7. Interesting. Debarkle. No, it's debacle. 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 That's not right. Debacle. Do I have to disable the blood for the China audience or nah? I don't know, I didn't. Maybe we get banned in China one day. Just don't tell anybody, okay? Is it possible to do something about enemies that get stuck in the floor because of a hit from a nail gun, especially during finishing moves? To be honest with you, I haven't tried that. Do they get stuck in the floor? Do we want to change that? I feel like that's pretty I feel like it's pretty intended, right? Unless there's something else wrong with it. Can you use 2 nails? I think you can only use 1. I have been thinking of adding overkill. So being able to shoot an enemy multiple times. When they die. I have thought of doing that, and then like when you're overkilling them, it would just go through, the bullet would just go through them. I have thought of that. Might still do that. Might still do that. It usually looks worse. Could be one of those things where in the shipping build, like the actual playable build, it looks worse. That does unfortunately happen. The diving through windows, for example, works perfectly fine in my editor, but there's a bug where it does not work as intended in the build. That is one thing I need to fix. Like diving through the cathedral windows does not work properly. It goes, you for some reason jump a lot lower. So I do need to fix that. I am noticing shooting the explosive barrel is incorrect. Okay, default weapon done. Is the nail gun done? I don't even know. I wasn't keeping track. Yeah, the cathedral one works in editor though. It works perfectly fine in editor. You can jump through the window and everything. It'll determine where to jump. In game though, in the packaged build, you jump a lot lower than you're supposed to, which is very odd. So I do need to fix that for sure. Something physics based is getting fucked, which is really, 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 really annoying. Absolutely awfully annoying, must say. Oh, great. I lost track. I think the last weapon I was on was the revolver. Okay, so next up is the science pistol. We do have to do something about the science pistol ults. The science pistol's ult. Do not get me wrong. That will be on my radar for sure. That'll be on my radar for sure. Animation suggestion: ball kick enemy's head while they're lying on the ground, like a football kick. Make their decapitated head like a barrel and damage enemies. Yeah, animations are a tough one, unfortunately. I would love to add more animations. This is not, it's not an easy thing for me. Nail 2 enemies to a wall and kick head between goal. We can make the achievement name Vamos. Yes. Yes. Is that all of the weapons? Single shot. Okay, so for safety, let's test every weapon. Make sure that recoil, all of them need to have recoil. If they all have recoil, then that means we fixed it. I think I'm very happy with all of the selection of guns. Obviously, there's some balancing to be done, but I'm pretty happy with all of the different guns and the different play styles they kind of produce. Some of them are a little bit subtle in the differences of play style, and then others are a lot more drastic. But I'm pretty happy with them. I think they're all fun in their own ways. Of course, the default pistol will probably seem as like the strongest one because it has the most all-round balanced kind of play style, but yeah, let me see if there's anything in here. I don't know if you miss one of the you can't complete the challenge after that. Yeah, I need to work on the secrets a little bit. Okay, bug reports. This one I don't, I gotta test this one and see what's going on here. This must have been like something new that popped up, causing that crash. How long have you been streaming for? Also, I have 5 push-ups. Is that Stardew Valley music playing? Wait, can you hear the music? Wait, can you hear the music? You're not supposed to. How did you hear the music? That's what the fuck? I don't know what that music was, by the way. I don't know what game that was from. I know Twitch chat can hear it, but YouTube. Oh, hold on. I gotta do 5 push-ups. Anyways, 3-hour stream, guys. Thanks for dropping in. We did some stuff. Fixing that recoil animation took a lot more time than I thought it would. I thought it would take 30 minutes. It took us 2 hours. Oh yeah, if you're watching on Twitch, then Baseater, yeah, that would be I don't know what soundtrack that might have been from. It is Stardew Valley. All right, more progress tomorrow. I was hoping we'd get more today, but at least we fixed that up. We cleaned up some of the code. I'll take it. Code is a little bit improved. A little bit. A slight bit. I just got here. Well, Sonny, maybe you should have been here earlier, okay? What do you want from me? Maybe you should have been here earlier, okay, man? Yeah, we still got a few more things to do. A bunch of bug fixes to fix. Some quality of life stuff. And yeah. Well, maybe I should have. Yeah, you should have been here earlier. Jeez. In theory, half of the work is done. That being said, some of these tasks are going to be a little bit more work beyond just whatever these changes are. Yeah, I want to try to aim to have this out this week because we haven't released an update or a patch in almost a week. I think starting tomorrow, it'll be 1 week. So we got to make this a good update, a big one, the big boy. And then we probably have to do some extensive testing to make sure I haven't broken anything, which chances are I have. I probably have broken a lot of things, as always. Yeah. I need that bullet time meter. All right, that was one of the first things we put in. I think there's some more elements we could do to show that your slow-mo is activated. Like making that little icon in the bottom left transparent or something, or give it a different color or something to show that's active. That would probably be a good thing as well. Okay. I'm hungry. So I'm going to go. Thanks for dropping by. See you guys tomorrow. Yeah. Goodbye. Thought I froze, huh?